So, as we were discussing, you said that you have a store of your own where not only you have your products, but you have products of other women entrepreneurs who do not have a space, and you call yourself a social entrepreneur. That's the first time I heard the word. So, tell us more about it.
Uh, in the beginning, when I started, I also wanted to encourage and support women out there who are struggling in a similar way as I am. So I found a lot of women, they have these handmade things like decoupage items or handmade candles and a lot of things. So what happened is they can only sell it if they go to an event, have a stall, or they could sell it through Facebook, maybe through their Facebook page or something like that. But their physical presence was not there. So they wanted, I was thinking, like, how about I give them a shelf space and where they can display their products too. And I don't think they would get this opportunity with another store. Most of them are sourcing from big names and companies and labels, but who will give these ladies the opportunity? And most of them have not, they are first timers, they're selling for the first time. So, and I was ready to take that risk, and some of them they did well. Some of them realized, okay, what they were selling need to be tweaked or maybe changed. So they get a hands-on experience with the customers, what the customers want or what they are looking forward for. So they could change their products accordingly. So I gave them that opportunity.
Jar of Hearts, you said, is going to complete its first anniversary, right? So, do you remember the first day in your shop?
Yeah. Um, Actually, it so happens that 23rd of September is my father's death anniversary, and he has been one of, he's played a very big role in where I have ended, because he was the one who wanted to see me as an architect, and for him I joined architecture because he was very interested in interior designing. He was in the army, and in the army you usually have a lot of you get to know a lot about decor and home and for accents and things like that. It's a little bit more common than your civilian life. So he always had this eye for a good piece of artifact. He could spend whatever, but he would have that. So, and I think I developed that sense of aesthetics from him. He was a good painter too. So, somewhere that creativity and everything, passed on to me. And it so happened that my husband, who had met with his accident, and because of that I had to postpone the opening of my store. So we were just at home one day, and I was just in the store trying to, I was in the store trying to just wonder what's going to happen, whether I'll be opening it or not. And there was this lady who walked in. Just she saw the signboard and she walked in, and she asked me, the signboard is so eye-catching that I thought there's something that you're selling here. Are you selling something here? And she happens to be a person who also has a store, who had a similar store, and she closed it down for personal reasons. In fact, I used to go and shop at her place. She didn't know me personally, but I knew her because I would always shop at her place. And it was so uncanny that it was as though she passed on the baton to me, The first sale I made was with her, through her, she came and she bought one door mat, So that was the first sale I made. So I still remember that because it was really, I felt inspired. Maybe, like some things happen because they are meant to be kind of situation.
So, we don't have the same type of days every day, right? Every day is not golden day. So, you probably would have also faced one of those bad days, like where you were really devastated and you did not want to like go ahead, go to your store, or maybe just probably shut it down, right? So, have you ever felt that way? And if yes, when was it?
Most of the times, the store is actually my refuge from the world and the problems at home. So for me, my work probably, if you my worst work day, if you say, would be the day when no customer walks in. So that would disappoint me, but not to that extent, because just sitting there in my store is enough for me. I kind of get that energy from my store. And the main thing is like the problems at home, children and their issues. You deal with all those things, and if you're sitting at home, it's still there somewhere, in your mind. You're not able to move ahead. But then when I get to my store, and then I start thinking, how I can change which display area, and that helps me. I start redoing the display, or something like something creative that I start doing, and then everything is forgotten. I don't remember. In fact, I must mention this, that before I opened the store, there were a lot of issues in my life which had led me to go into depression. So I went into depression, and I was suggested by my psychiatrist to take medicines, and I didn't want to take medicines. I didn't want to succumb to that, having some chemically induced happiness. So this was my medicine. From the time I started designing the interiors for my store, I think I haven't ever felt that depression at all, because I think in a way the answer to every problem was to, because problems are not going to go away, they are going to be there. Problems are going to be there, and the solution will not come when you want them to come. They will come when it is supposed to come. So it's our impatience for the solution that we start getting, tensed and anxious. So when we distract ourselves, what happens is you actually start seeing other things, your focus has changed. So then you start looking at other things, and there's that certain joy that you also get from that. Then when you, with that happiness, when you look at your problems, I feel even your problems start seeming like, very trivial.
Last and final question. Architect Nandini or entrepreneur Nandini?
Entrepreneur Nandini. Any day.
Many women are scared to start anything of their own. In fact, even cooking, they are scared to try something new. What is that one piece of advice that you would want to give to those women?
Actually, I will mention two things, not one thing. Firstly, finance is important, but equally you have to be passionate about that particular whatever you're going to convert as a business. So that is one important thing, much more than money. And secondly, when you're starting, start off very small, so that you learn the ropes of the business, and start off with your family. If For instance, if you are good at organizing parties or good at organizing events, then you want to start an event management company, start off small. Do your cousins or your relatives some event, maybe free of cost also. Initially, you'll have to do that little bit of extra effort and get experience, as you are getting the experience, keep recording it in terms of pictures, in terms of because, and if you're going on social media, it always makes more sense you put up your pictures of the work that you have done. So then the first question they ask is, what have you done so far? They want to see. So then all these things will come into use. So then you slowly venture out after maybe a year or 2 years of this kind of experiences, then you venture out. Don't immediately jump into something.
With that, it's a wrap. Thank you very much, Nandini, for coming to our show. It was really wonderful having
Thank you for inviting me. It's been really nice talking.
There is no good time to start. You can actually start anytime. With that, it's a goodbye from us. Keep watching I Am Significant.